Are the favorites, we here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams, both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't pull the wrong strings. Yeah, it's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Gantes or the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood, discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
What's going on, everybody? Just bear with us for a couple seconds here while we do the social media stuff we have to do.
Let's see.
Okay, there's that.
There's that one. Nice. Very clever. Very clever with the texts.
And there's that one. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, May 28th. You have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zwatsky, a.k.a. Father Zoe, a.k.a. Southside Zoe. And with me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
Zoe, people are saying the Cubs might be good.
I told you guys about my dirty little secret. I might actually reveal that on the show here. So, and the man who is now on the long weekend, the good Reverend K. Fids.
I'm hoping this is a baseball anecdote that you have for us. So I'm actually a little more intrigued now because the way that sounded, it sounded like it wasn't like the same story that I'm thinking of, but maybe not the one where you were wearing a toga. So maybe it's not the same one.
No, it's that my little secret is that I bet the over on the Cubs win total for the season. So
Smart.
Go get them, boys. I mean, it was at 79, and actually shout out to Beefloaf because I definitely just fouled him on that one. Because I looked at it and it was under 80. I was like, this is stupid. I'm going to make easy money off this. So
well, let's not jinx it now. Let's not.
Maybe that's what I'm doing right now. I don't know. I don't want to do that. But it's good times, man. Good times in Chicago. We have two first place baseball teams. One side you would definitely know it. The other side,
thanks for the assist.
Yeah, no problem. Even though you guys did dog shit against Cleveland for us earlier this year.
You beat the Cardinals twice. The Cubs have only played the Indians twice. If they beat the Indians once, they've done their job. So
Zoe, we're just trying to. We just want you guys to. We want the Sox to earn it.
Yeah.
And yeah. And your math definitely does not check out there.
No.
But
I heard that there would be math or lineups on this equation.
Yes, but it's good times, man. Two first place teams. The White Sox go into the game Thursday night against starting a 4-game series against the pretty shitty Baltimore Orioles. A game up over Cleveland with a plus 69, nice run differential. The Cubs, one of the hottest teams in baseball right now, 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're tied with St. Louis as of the time of this recording for first place, but they also are holding a nice plus 22 run differential. St. Louis is riddled with injuries. Like they almost might have more injuries than the White Sox. And it's looking good for the Cubs. So both teams, I was talking to Aldo before the show, and I mean, I'm sure it happened last year, but it's just weird that both teams are in first place at the time of this recording. And it's great. I mean, we've done shows where both teams absolutely sucked. We've done shows, you know what I mean? Or one team's doing good, the other team sucks. Like, very rarely do we get this. So we're going to talk about everything that's happened since the last time we joined us and a lot more. So let's get into it. Let's tap this keg. As always, the show is brought to you by PointsBet. Make sure you're using promo code Pinwheels. And also, we have the link pinned at the top of our Twitter account at Pinwheels Ivy Pod. If you like, you can go and support the show, or you can go buy some merch, t-shirts, onesie, mug, whatever the hell you want to, whatever you're into, whatever floats your boat. Get it with the Pinwheels and Ivy logo on it.
Although the Cheekless Chap line will not be out for about 6 weeks. So Brewhand Luke and Beer Garden Jim, you guys will have to wait just a little bit longer before you guys head out. So just a heads up.
And for the podcast listeners, those are dudes from Twitter. Those are some of our faithful in the comment section, which you can always be watching us live on Thursday nights. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, all that fun stuff. And join us in the comment section. It's usually a pretty good time in there. Interesting comments galore. And we always appreciate, the people that are with us every Thursday. It's always good to see these long running jokes and everything. To tell you we appreciate your support would be an understatement. So before the show tonight, and I kind of just want to get into this because I have a feeling this is going to go way off the rails quick with this, but I finally reached a point with the Tony La Russa stuff that I kind of want to just talk about. And that point is, I really don't give a shit. I don't care if you like him. I don't care that you hate him. I can't think of the last time the White Sox had a manager that I was like, every single move he made, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. That was the right call. But I understand people were mad. They didn't think TRL was the right hire. I personally would have not have gone in that direction, but he's the guy that's there now. And Tony actually said something in a press conference on Thursday that sparked this whole thing with me. He goes, I'm not afraid to take the heat. If you're a manager in Major League Baseball and you can't take heat, you're in the wrong position. But what I would like is for my first place baseball team to get a little bit more attention and credit. And I don't think I've seen, heard, or read anything from Tony La Russa this year that has made me more go, fuck yeah, dude. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the people that seem like they're on his payroll to defend him. I'm sick of the people that go out of their way to fucking knock him. I'm done with it. I'm done. It's over. White Sox are in first place. They got a really good team, and they're playing with one hand tied behind their back with all the injuries, and they're still in first place. And yes, the AL Central isn't the strongest division in baseball, but they just put a pretty damn good series up against the Cardinals. I mean, don't get me wrong. They got their butts spanked in the Bronx, but
like, how much better did White Sox fans think this White Sox team would be than the rest of the league when they're doing this with missing two of like the most important cog?
Yeah, it was just a little frustrating. The games in New York were really frustrating just because even guys that normally show up didn't. The bats were a little stagnant. There was definitely some highlights, some things to take away from New York that were good. But yeah, that's number one with a bullet. Vaughn going up against Chapman, who hasn't given up an earned run this year and just sending a piss missile to right center.
You see that was like the hardest hit home run off Chapman ever and the farthest home run off Chapman ever.
Right.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. But, I mean, just to kind of put a bow on this, the main thing is, again, I don't understand the people that feel the need to defend every twitch that TRL has. On the same hand, I don't understand the people that feel the need to just absolutely shit on the man for everything he does. If you don't like the hire, that's one thing. I just don't understand where people get the energy. I don't understand either way. And I think it's just getting a little absurd because we do have a first place baseball team that's doing some pretty fucking incredible things given the circumstances. And I just want to talk about that. And like I go on Twitter to talk about White Sox baseball and everything is Tony La Russa is evil or Tony La Russa. How dare you say that about Tony La Russa? It's just like, holy shit. It's the end of fucking May. Let's just fucking go on, dude. Like, I don't know. That's it. I got a little fired up. And then when I saw Tony's quote and like, I understand this thing about the sign, about the lounge. Like, I get people are mad about that. Like, that's fine. That's your prerogative. Be mad about it. I think it was a shitty move by the White Sox too. But if you think Tony La Russa had anything to do with that, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not that dumb. You can't think that. Like, Tony didn't like contact White Sox PR and was like, "Hey, take down that old lady's name and put my name on that lounge." Like, that's not what happened.
That reminded me of I think with the Cubs. I forget what year it was. They had like a cake for Ron Santo, and like it was
yeah,
and they just somebody found it in the dumpster,
right?
And it was like hilarious, like bad luck, but like hilarious,
right?
In the grand scheme of things, did it matter? Not really, but it was funny. A bad luck, but I mean, whatever.
And it was an extremely. I think it was a really, really bad PR move by the White Sox. I think it was just a really shitty thing they did, and to not at least give the family the sign, to just throw it away.
That's the key right there, is because there are countless people that have been outraged that were inside that stadium for the entire year of 2020 and walked past that placard dozens and dozens of times and had no idea who Loretta was. And now they're upset as of yesterday. They didn't care about Loretta until then. The point is, for them, it's a whole nother thing. But for the family should have been indeed contacted and been allowed to know that, hey, listen, we're going to take Loretta's name down. We're going to put a plaque up elsewhere. Like that is a 100% job of the actual corporate aspect of White Sox, of the Chicago White Sox.
Boy, you're dropping the ball. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is, and I was more like, whoa.
No, people were in the stadium in 2020. They were in there. Watched the no hitter in 2020.
Well, the cardboard cutouts.
The cardboard cutouts too.
Well, that's what he's saying. Like, no one was there last year in the shortened season.
There were humans there. There was media there, is what I'm saying. The media was there.
Oh.
Some of them were in the ballpark. They saw it.
I don't know.
They noticed it yesterday.
I get it shitty.
On Monday.
I already think it's shitty. They should have gave the family the sign. I'm glad they left the plaque up for her. But again, the funny thing is to see people that I know are intelligent blame Tony La Russa for it, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, you can't honestly think this. Like, I get you don't like him.
Great razor. He's like taking it down himself. See if they notice.
No, after all that, let me interrupt you, Zoe.
Shit.
So let's just not talk about that. Let's talk about the Sox right now.
Yes,
First place, getting it done.
That's what I was getting.
I think Luke pointed it out. Entire outfield injured list.
I mean, we're starting Billy Hamilton regularly.
Yeah, that is not good. I know we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. It's like, we were raving about the Billy Hamilton game against the Twins, but you don't want Billy Hamilton starting like half the time in center field. Like, that's bad.
Right, and it's just, I mean, nothing against Billy Hamilton. Billy Hamilton, great guy. I want him on that bench.
Great bench guy. Yeah,
I want him pitch running. I want him as a defensive replacement. Lurie Garcia, I want him as a utility guy. I want him on getaway lineups, and I want him starting every once in a while, every day in center field. Like, no, dude. Like, come on, man.
Like at the time that it was happening, it was great. Like, because it was right after the Luis Robert injury, and you're like, hey, like, next guy's got to step up. And like they did for like that week after. I mean, they were fucking phenomenal. They had those blowouts against the Twins. I think it was like I forget what that weekend series was, with like Texas maybe, or no, it was after. I forget. But like now we're seeing though, and I think Kevin, you brought it up. About talking about Mercedes. Vegas starting to adjust. He's been pretty bad in May.
Yes.
TA now he's been out for the past Wednesday and then Thursday night, and then Lewis has said that just general soreness, and that might explain his really rough week. And then he's been also like, if you look at the entire month of May, TA has been like
it's been pretty
bad in May. But hey, on the other side, Nick Madrigal. Remember that 1 week when everyone was like panicking that
the first week of the season.
Bill might have sent a tweet about it or on the Twitter machine.
Yeah,
I think it was just like last week when everyone's like the league has figured out Nick Madrigal, and now he's hitting like close to 300 again.
He's hitting 301 right now at the time of his career, and now they're putting him in the leadoff spot. I mean, and among active second basemen, he's like top 5 or top 10 in every statistical category. I know his WAR's a little bit down, whatever, but I mean, Madrigal, he hasn't been the model of consistency, but he's got the second highest batting average on the team right now.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you're getting what you kind of thought Madrigal was going to be. A singles hitter who's going to hit like around 300.
Right. Exactly. And that's what he's doing. And he's hitting. I mean, he's even starting to sprinkle in the occasional double. You know what I mean? Like,
he had the home run. I don't think we celebrated that home run enough. You guys, we didn't celebrate that home run enough.
Sprinted around the bases.
But Madrigal's been good, very good for the White Sox. But I want to talk about this because Kevin brought it up on draft night, and he deserves all the roses for this one because he's been on this the whole time. But what we're seeing now
Are we recording?
Is a very young player in Andrew Vaughn, who, like most people were freaking out about, never played higher than A ball or high A ball before getting thrown into a new position that he's never played before at the major league level. And he struggled at first. He was struggling a little bit, not in the field. I've literally seen he's only misplayed like one ball that I can think of in the outfield. And it wasn't like it got behind him. He just went back instead of forward for his initial step. But what we're seeing now is what Kevin's been talking about for a long time with the hitting and the approach at him. We talked about the home run off of Chapman. It was an absolute rocket. But he's taking pitches. He's working deep into counts. He's spraying to all fields. I'm going to pull up his spray chart while I turn it over to Kevin right now. But like his spray chart is a thing of fucking art. It's beautiful. And Kevin, why don't you tell people what you're seeing in his swing and like, why do you think why is he turning this corner now?
Well, and so for him, especially for a young guy, you got to think about what the game is doing, because you got to think about what the game as a whole, as like a Major League Baseball is what I mean. There's limited footage that you're going to get, limited, replay and whatnot when you're looking at someone's swings and the flaws that they have. And for Andrew Vaughn, he came in. There was a little bit more info and data on him because he did play at a higher level, college as well. So there was a lot of footage for scouts that they had. But that's only a general going into the draft kind of amount of footage. Then now you fast forward, he goes out into the league, he starts doing what he does, and he starts adjusting to his strengths and starts seeing where he can succeed, what pitches he drives well coming from this level of different angle or the velocity or the spin rate. And now all of a sudden, now you look at him and he struggled. And we talked about it on here with all the good ball players that they have those 2 steps forward, 1 step back experience as a young ball player. As a mature hitter, he's going to have less of those steps back and have more of those steps forward. And so now we're at this point, which is really exciting for what he's going to do with the baseball. The league is now going to start testing him out. Think Velociraptors in Jurassic Park, trying to test all the vulnerabilities of the fence to try to escape. The league now is going to keep testing the vulnerabilities on Andrew Vaughn and try to figure out what new vulnerability does he have, which also includes making mistakes. Mm-hmm. That's the key. Is Vaughn's going to get a lot more mistakes as the league tries to figure him out. So for him right now, he's at this peak point where he's going to get those steps forward. Now he looks like he's taking those steps forward, and he's going to get the time that he's going to get in the lineup. He's in a good place. I don't think there's, again, like we talked last year with Luis Robert, there's no need to like push him forward just because he's doing great. He's still a rookie, guys. Don't forget that. Yerman's still a rookie. Don't forget that. Mm-hmm. These guys just sit in their spot for a second. Like the urge to make rookies into vets is extremely hard to fight, but these guys are excelling and getting a hang of it now. Mm-hmm. And so,
well, here, look at this. Boom.
Incredible.
Look at this spray chart all over the place. What pisses me off is these long ass doubles. Junk. But
those are off the wall too.
But look at these percentile rankings. So look at the exit velocity, the max exit velocity, the hard hit percentage, the barrel percentage. Dude hits the living shit out of baseballs.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any triples. Send him down.
But I'm just saying, like, yeah, he doesn't get to make these adjustments if he starts the year in Charlotte.
No, he's got to see the real thing. He's got to see.
100% agree, Alex.
And they're playing juice balls down at AAA right now.
Dude, the AAA numbers are insane.
All sense of security down there anyway. Play with the dead ball. Let's go. Play with what you're going to deal with, and let the mature 23, 24-year-old or whatever. I don't even know how old he is now at this point. Figure it out. He's going to do that. That's why he was drafted. He's a professional hitter and a professional utility man, might I add.
Dude.
Fantastic.
I'm pulling them up right now just because it's hilarious. The AAA numbers right now, I mean, good for these guys. I love seeing like a nightly tweet about Jake Berger hitting a fucking home run. Like, it's great, but literally they're playing with a Super Bowl.
Have they not switched the balls? Are they still using the 2019 balls?
They're using the leftover ball. Just got against the Vegas Aviators last weekend, and I think it was a 3 or maybe a 4-game series, but it was at least a 3-game series. Six homers in a series. The guy round tripped 6 times in one series here in Vegas.
Like, I remember, like, for the podcast listeners, obviously it's been a while since we've talked about like minor league numbers, but like going back to 2019, the one thing I do remember is like the Cubs minor league pitcher of the year. I think it was Corey Abbott. I think it was, but he was at AAA and he had like a 3.97 or 3.6. Like, it was in the high threes. He had like the best ERA in AAA, and it was like close to 4. That's how crazy those AAA numbers are and still are.
And we all know, like, Charlotte is a launching pad. Charlotte's always been a launching pad. And then on the complete other side of the spectrum, Birmingham is like, it'll fuck you up. Like, you don't go to Birmingham to put up hitting numbers. And I've seen some of the guys like a Future Sox and guys that do really, really good work with the White Sox farm system talk about how guys like Gavin Sheets and Blake Rutherford were like begging to get out of Birmingham. Not literally, but just being like, get me out of this shitty, like not shitty, this hard ballpark. Like, and if you look right now, Gavin Sheets is hitting 303 with 3 home runs in 19 games already this year. Jake Berger, 273 with 6 home runs in 16 games. Like, Blake Rutherford, where we at? 293. He's only got 1 homer, but he's got 8 RBIs and a triple. And right now, the best hitter is a guy and this is just me not being smart, but second baseman Marco Hernandez hitting 355.
No clue who he is.
And
I've never even heard of him before.
76 at bats in Charlotte.
By the way, wait! I just read this in the chat. Alex said this entire segment is just a subtweet at Beef Up. What's this about?
I don't know what that's.
Give you guys the loop, Alex.
I missed last night. Too busy talking about Rocky Dennis in the chat because
I have no idea.
That was a lot of Rocky Dennis.
I love this follow up. Alex follows up with the "Let's go magical replacement."
Well, on that note, I was saying I'm thinking in my head though, and I tweeted this out after the finale of the White Sox Cardinals series, where the bottom of that order, basically the outfield outside of Vaughn, was just a black hole in that lineup. They need to on the 108 podcast, people said send Vaughn to Charlotte a month ago. Ooh.
Oh.
I disagree.
Home beef, you're drunk.
But I tweeted out, if this doesn't put the cherry on the top for the White Sox need to trade for an outfield bat, I don't know what does. Like that, the Wednesday game, the day game between the Sox and the Cardinals was one of the most frustrating. The White Sox had bases loaded. They left so many runners on base.
I mean, it was one guy though.
It was German.
That was tough.
But it was brutal, dude. And like,
yeah, he was.
So
by the way, Zoe, I have to ask you because I think we asked I asked you 3 weeks ago.
What's that?
I'll ask again. You want Jock Peterson?
I mean, right now he's hot. That'd be buying high. That'd be stupid.
By the way, hilarious. Because remember after the first couple weeks, everybody was doing the whole, the White Sox got Adam Eaton, the Cubs got stuck with Jock Peterson.
Yeah,
looking a little how the tables have turned.
I feel like we actually talked about it on this podcast that Jock Peterson's a streaky hitter and that he was pretty much due to start hitting a hot streak sooner or later, and he did. I don't know. Maybe it's called being patient with guys in their trends. Like Sammy Stokes, he'll go 0 for a month and then go hit 20 some odd homers in May. It's fine. Like,
yeah,
and then Eaton is hurt again, right?
Yeah, Eaton's hurt. Kopech landed on his plant leg really weird and like popped up, and I thought oh man. But
I got a text from a friend, and he said, big Sox fan, he said, fuck, Kopech again.
Yeah.
And I immediately went to like the box score. Like, I don't know why I didn't just go to Twitter, but I went to the box score. I'm like, did they pull it? Like, was it an arm injury? But I saw that he finished the inning. I'm like, what could it have been?
No, who had the bereavement today? Was that
he did?
That was Kopech. So
something happened. Death in the family, and he got.
I do have to ask. I don't want to be insensitive. If something did happen in his family, like, thoughts, prayers to Kopech, but no. But no, it's not on Kopech's part. But if there wasn't anything personal that happened, what a great use of the bereavement list from the Sox, because it's only it's maximum or minimum 3 days, and then maximum 7. You don't have to use the 10-day injured list,
and you don't have to all 7 either.
Exactly, yeah. So he can come back like if it's just like a little tweak in his hamstring and it's not that serious.
It sounds like
to lose him.
Whatever it is, we really hope that whatever's happening, especially if it's a death in the family, we hope.
Right, exactly. No, but if it is something personal, like prayers to the Kopech, and everybody.
He's
but it is sports and they're sketchy. So
he's gone. Adam Eaton's hurt. Tim Anderson's out with general soreness. They brought up Burr. Yeah, I know MLB doesn't let the teams use
Okay,
yeah.
Again, I didn't want to be inside of it, just like
Right.
the timing of it was, I mean, perfect for the Sox.
I mean,
Did not-
I got out of an essay when I was in 8th grade when a relative that I had never met. So I actually did a sketchy thing to do. So I actually felt guilty about that for a long time. So I hope that would never be the case. But it also is a business, and people will use advantages wherever they can get.
Right. No, because I mean the same thing. Alex pointed out in the chat, and like Zoe just said, like MLB. I don't think MLB like will let you do that.
Yeah, no.
But if there's like any loophole for that, like I mean, great for the Sox, I guess.
I just hope, best wishes to Kopech and his family. Hopefully everything is fine. But but with Eaton being down, so Adam Engel's hitting home runs in Charlotte right now, but again, bouncy ball.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing is he's making hard contact and he looks good. So hopefully the White Sox will get him back right there, but they still need another outfielder. And so that's when I start looking at guys like Marco Hernandez. Like,
I need to look this guy up.
Are you still on Joey Gallo, or is that kind of like did that romance pass a little bit now? Because
I'd be fine with Joey Gallo. I mean,
now that you're seeing guys get off their crutches and you're seeing
Marco Hernandez came up. It looks like was he in the Cubs?
Marco Hernandez, he was born in 92. MLB debut in 2016. He has 76 career at bats in the majors. Oh wait, never mind. 36.
I'm trying to find that too.
257 at bats in the majors. 265, 300 on base, 642 OPS.
But he was drafted by the Cubs. Am I seeing that right? And then he was in Boston's. It looks like Boston's system.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is his first year with the White Sox.
Yeah. I mean, he's 20 is Mercedes 2.0.
But I'm just saying, like, yeah, he was a Red Sox utility guy. But, like, I'm seeing all these guys like Marco Hernandez, Gavin Sheets, Blake Rutherford. I mean, shit, you'd even say Sebi Zavala is hitting 242. But these guys are hitting really well and try to put together a package, man. Like, don't wait for other teams to have injuries. Like we're seeing with like the Yankees and like
when everyone's healthy, this is the time to act. If you do need to act, you need to act now because you have these healthy teams that are not in need yet.
Right, but like
or teams that are not sure if they need to contend yet.
We literally just had a front row seat to the Cardinals losing 2 outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like teams that are in contention are going to start getting injuries too. It's not just the White Sox, even though it feels like it. And
normal. Cubs have everybody on the deal. Oh my God.
Right. The price.
Duffy. I mean,
the price of a decent bet is going to go up. So then you just start looking at guys who were on the last year or close to last year, their contracts, and that's when you get the usual suspects, the Joey Gallo and the Santander. That's my guy. I want
great
him.
Name.
Yeah, I want him out of Baltimore.
I cut him off my fantasy team though. He's killing me.
Who? Yeah, I know. I picked him up. Who is the kid? Shit. There's a kid in Seattle's system. He's a really good outfielder, but he's just a victim of a log jam out in Seattle, and he's like in AAA right now. Hold on.
Henry Rowan Gard?
No, hold on.
But he's in AAA right now?
Yeah, but he's behind. Seattle's got such a good young outfield that.
Is it Ken Wool? He can hit 90.
Well, I mean, they just brought up Kalenic. They have Haniger.
Hold on, I'm pulling. It up
they have Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, that's why he's
Trammell.
Trammell. There you go.
Trammell. Taylor Trammell.
I knew if I kept stalling, Alex would eventually put it in the chat.
I was gonna say, let's just wait for Alex to get it.
So I'm a little intimidated, by the way, because we're gonna be in Chicago next week, and I'm just gonna tell you this right now since we're talking about Alex. I'm gonna be actually hoping that if I'm with Alex, he's in the car and he's driving, so that at some point in our discussion, I'm gonna make sure that I can actually get the answer first, because that's so damn fat. I don't have any idea. He's like,
well, this has been like a hot name right now on White Sox Twitter. Taylor Trammell, he's a center fielder right now for Seattle's AAA team. In 50 at bats right now, he's batting .460.
Is that a AAA though?
Yeah, it's AAA, so bouncy ball with 5 home runs. So he's got some pop. He's got 2 stolen bases. He's got a 1.353 OPS.
See, the thing about that is, though, like,
Oh, well, see, look at this is our resident fact checker. For those of you listening to the podcast, his name's Alex. Make sure you go follow him on Twitter.
yeah.
He's my guy. But what Alex is saying here is he's been traded by 3 teams in under 2 years, which is kind of a red flag for him. And I totally get that. But we've also seen guys like Yerman Mercedes, who sometimes it's just about fit and timing. And this could be a good fit and timing for him in Chicago. And
new geographic location, new fan base,
new opportunity,
everything.
Yeah. And
my only thing with that one is the age, 23. And normally when you see a trade, to get help, I think teams normally lean towards like the veteran guy. Yeah, like the veteran guy, the steady guy that what you're kind of going to get.
Right.
You're not trying to pull the wool over somebody and snag some prospect that they didn't really appreciate. You're trying to get somebody that everybody is renowned knowing that this is the person that
that's
like a few years ago, like the Cubs needed.
You don't trade for crapshoots.
Yeah, like a few years ago, like the Cubs needed a bat, and they're like, all right, Castellanos, we're getting him. We know what we're getting. So like a veteran guy,
or they need an arm, and they traded Eloy Mendez.
Yeah,
Dylan Cease.
By the way, some good vibes for the Sox. Seeing Eloy walking around, batting gloves on.
And then also part of the injury maneuvers is they did put Luis Robert on the 60-day IL.
Oh wait, you do have to say we have to have you pronounce the word, by the way.
What, Epiphany?
Epiphany. What was it?
Epiphany.
Nice. Can you say it 3 times fast?
I don't want to. So they put Luis Robert on the 60-day IL, which to me kind of shows that his rehab is moving along real nice.
I think that's just like a procedural move,
right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then, we're seeing these Instagram stories. Loy's out in the facilities out in Arizona, walking around with his Karate Kid bandana on. He's got a bat in his hand. He's got no bandages, no sling, no anything, and he's posting anime cartoons of dudes in like pods with wires and stuff coming out like they're fucking Wolverine Weapon X, saying
is he getting a little bit too into the internet right now? Is he had too much time on his hands and he's really getting
I wasn't going to ask that, but I was going to ask if this is going to be a tangent off to like this is like farther away than anything Baez swings at. Is it obviously we're a little older here, I'm not going to say ages, we don't need to do that, but does it seem like this new generation is a lot more they don't give a shit. Like they'll watch anime. They don't care if they get say you're a nerd, what a dork. No.
Anime's not nerdy shit.
It's not. Yeah, it's not anymore, right? When did that change? When did that change?
Because the video game generation too. These guys that are my age are playing, well, now they've retired. They played video games and they were told stop playing video games, nerd, even though you were in the clubhouse. Right. The older guys were telling you video games for nerds. So it really there was a culture. I could say this. I'd say around the early 80s, I think there was a movement shift because you could see again the mustaches and the hairy chests and the Tom Selleck masculinity, right? And then you get to the 90s and like the generation that came up in the late 80s was all right, they're kind of still there. Rick Russell still has a great belly. And then you get to the late 90s and all of a sudden you can start gaming and you can start taking your video game systems with you on the road. And these guys are staying in. They're not going out to the bars. They're actually staying in and they're playing video games in the hotel. And these older vets that are let's go get laid. No, there's some creek chasers. And the other guy's nah, I'm going to sit here. We're going to play some GoldenEye real quick. Let's go. Just have fun, bud. We'll see you later. And they might drink or smoke weed or whatever, but they're sitting in there and they're not going out like this. And so I think that starts it. And then now they're the ones still playing video games. They're playing, they're trying to be good at Call of Duty and they're not great. Mm-hmm. Fortnite comes along and you get this whole generation now that is, again, more in touch with social media and Instagram and TikTok. And this is what people do. My girlfriend, I love her. She's younger than me. She's on TikTok every night before bed for an hour. She's watching all the videos.
She's a girlfriend, Zoe?
She's addicted.
No,
shit is addicted.
Zoe is one of 2 people I follow, so I get every Zoe video. But
shit is addicting.
The golfer guy and then the guy that did the sweater, the turtleneck and sweater guy.
Yeah.
But other than for me, I roll through it. I get cartel murder videos, which is weird.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on there. But
you're the target audience.
You're getting now this younger generation of ball players that are coming up that have been exposed to this target audience, social media, again, the algorithm is hitting, and these are people that are no longer they like people like anime's good, man. I'm not gonna make fun of anime. Like weird.
I'm not making fun of it. I just never got into it.
No, that's the point I'm saying. It's
I'm
like,
an English teacher that coached baseball. Do you understand how hard it was to talk about Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey to like any coaching buddies? They were like, "Shut the fuck up, Fiddler, and drink your beer. Look at those titties." Like that was like literally conversation. So it's.
I mean, Kevin's watching Hento over here, but I
did bust a student with Hento though. That was an awkward experience.
I remember
no, I know what you're saying.
Back in middle school, like I remember I had a friend and like his sister was like into anime. I'm like, oh, all right, like what?
But to Yumper's point,
like players that are playing video games, and
to Yumper's point in the comment section, Blake Snell has his own Twitch channel. Lucas Giolito's on Twitch all the time. They're big advocates.
Owen for the Bears,
they play a lot, and they play a lot more than like MLB The Show. They're out there playing Call of Duty. The popularity,
it's like the last 10 years, right?
Yeah, and these professional gamers, dude, they're clearing millions of dollars. Like they're fucking celebrities, dude.
No, I remember the first time.
This is all about selling, but this is all marketability, guys. This is no different than signing with Nike or with Adidas. Yeah. This is a whole other market that people aren't touching, and some of these companies that have gotten wise to TikTok and to Twitch. They're brilliant companies because they're capitalizing on people that can draw a following. Regular Joes are grabbing a following. Now you take a celebrity and you give them the same platform to connect with a humongous audience. You're changing. We're talking about changing the game. You're changing media and sports and entertainment as it exists. ESPN becomes irrelevant because you can get it straight from the guy's mouth while he's playing a video game at 10 at night after his start. That's like the cool stuff, which just makes it hard for like the organizations to police this stuff.
Right.
And they hate it because
that's the dang. I mean, the kids these days, like the younger kids, they watch YouTube, man. They're watching these people play video games and shit. Like these people are the celebrities, dude. And like it gives people hope too. Like, hey, I might not be the biggest, strongest, fastest kid, but I'm good as fuck at Call of Duty.
No, I remember. You know I think I was like either like a senior in high school.
Practicing all the time in class.
I think I was like a senior in high school or like in college. And I remember my brother bringing it up to my mom, and he's like, "You see this tournament? Like this kid just won like 50 grand for like a Madden tournament. You should let my
Madden started it all. It's all Madden. I swear to God, Madden. It's Madden."
And not to brag, I was pretty good at playing Madden when I grew up. But obviously, you get the same. Like, why are you always playing video games?
Right.
But I remember that moment when my brother brought it up to my mom. He's like, "You are you looking at? You seeing this? You seeing this?"
It's amazing. How many times?
Back to the Sox.
How many times have adults said, "What, playing video games? You can't make a living like that."
No. Because like, what have you been hearing like the past few years? It's like, oh, like you want to be an influencer? You want to be a YouTuber? Like, yeah, that's what fucking kids are doing now, and they're making money.
And we talk that with like young athletes, which it's weird because young athletes. And I'll say this because we're going to keep this on the tangent because we are talking a little bit more outside of our sphere.
Holy shit!
You have young ball players that are doing this as they're coming up as well, and they're learning this stuff. Think about the high school kids that have already they're already doing this. Watching some of these guys that are already doing this. Watching Tim Anderson create his own YouTube channel with a documentary. Watching how you're seeing Tariq Cohen, or you want to talk about ball players. Like Snell's really good, man. He's really good because he actually there's the interaction, and you think about these guys connecting with an audience. Baseball has never had a better opportunity to connect with a larger audience than it has right now. And the question is, how can you create the dialogue? Because how can you connect both with the young the young people? How can you also not push away the old crowd? Because baseball's audience is roughly like the average age of baseball fans is like 50 some odd years old. You don't want to also alienate your actual audience too. You want to bring in both. And how can you do both when you're I hate to say this, but when you're also attacking the unwritten rules, there's a large subset of the largest MLB audience that does actually appreciate some weird part of that. So how do you do both and not how do you bring in the new and not pretend like this generation that you're 50, you're not dying in a week, dude. There's more to this. It's a tough job.
This is a poor
job of it.
This is from 2020. This is Forbes top 10 video game earners. That dude Ninja, I've even heard of him, so he's big. Ninja made 17 mil in 2020. Yeah. This dude PewDiePie, isn't that dude like a Nazi or some shit? I don't know. He made 15.
That's profitable today, by the way.
He made 15 million. Some dude named Preston made $14 million playing fucking Minecraft.
Preston's 14.
Mark Fishbach made $14 million. Some dude named Shroud made $12.5 million.
Jock Peterson made $9 million.
Some dude named Daniel Middleton made $12 million.
These guys are making like NBA money.
These guys made
this
more
is
money than Chris
sick,
Bryant made in his
dude.
first 4 years as a Chicago Cub combined.
And I mean, I'm looking at the games, and they're all just playing Fortnite and Minecraft.
Yeah, no, I was going to say.
That's all Shreve does. That's all he does on the road. He's like, hey, you want Fortnite? I'm trying to figure out Call of Duty and Halo 3, but go to it. And that's what they're doing. They're playing it.
I heard this the other day on Barstool Chicago, and I think they had their like video game guy on for a draft. I think it's MRAGs or something like that, or I forget. I'm sorry, I apologize. But they're doing their like video character draft. But he brought up how like I forget what year it was. Obviously, it was recent. Like a Fortnite tournament, the prize pool was bigger than like the Masters.
Jesus.
Like if you won that Fortnite tournament, you won more money than if you won the Masters.
That means we need to have the inaugural Pinwheels and Ivy Madden football.
I suck at Madden.
No, I can't. You know why? They changed Madden too much. They changed Madden too much.
What is a game that's actually stood the test of time that we could actually say like, let's do it. Let's do it.
MLB The Show.
Or MLB The Show. Like those, I think the only things that improve on those is just graphics. Everything kind of stays the same.
Right. They
the show. It makes me want to like stab my eyes out.
They keep the buttons the same. GoldenEye. That's a good one. No odd job.
Nobody wants to like just play like Super Mario.
But back to Taylor Trammell.
Yes. Is that a viable trade for the Sox?
Yeah. Well, the only other thing.
By the way, that entire segment.
We're Adam Eaton Brothers.
That
entire segment was sponsored by the Pinwheels and Ivy YouTube channel. Go and subscribe.
Yes. Go and subscribe.
And give us a like and comment.
Should we be on Twitch? We should eat live on Twitch.
Why not? Fuck it.
Sure.
Bring them on.
Yumper, tell us how to set up a Twitch channel.
Yeah, Yumper, you're a resident gamer, dude.
Yeah.
We'll Twitch. I mean, we'll drink beer. We'll chug beer. I mean, people will see us, and then
I don't know what's allowed on Twitch, but I'll Twitch it up.
Yeah, I'll Twitch it up. Dude.
I'm hip.
Hell yeah. I could drink a bunch of Red Bulls. Twitch. The other thing, though, I want to talk about the White Sox. So
we're getting encouraged. So we're joining Twitch. So
that has remained consistent is the pitching. Lucas Giolito is definitely not. I will not say he's all the way back, but he's definitely finding his rhythm again.
Hey, are you saying that Lucas Giolito isn't just all of a sudden horrible?
Yeah.
What?
That is not. That did not.
I was lied to. This is bullshit. I thought he quit and it was over.
Dallas Keuchel looks like he's going to be fine. Dallas Keuchel 100% is the number 5 starter on this team. Carlos Rodon is.
By the way, but repeat that real quick. Just say that out loud. Because for everybody else that has a 5-man rotation in Major League Baseball, say it one more time. Who's the number 5?
Dallas Keuchel.
Wow. I'm sorry. That's like eggplant boner juice right there. Because to say that someone like him is your number 5 is like.
Yes. He's a number 5 starter on his team because the reason being is Carlos Rodon is having a fucking Cy Young first half of the season. And shout out to Teresi because he called this.
I don't know. I think he's second in ERA. I don't know who's first in ERA, but Carlos Rodon, holy shit. We're talking about a guy who, I mean, I'm just guessing like 75%, 80% of the fan base when he got non-tendered was like, oh, thank God. We don't have to worry about him anymore. We don't have to worry about
the only person with a better ERA than Carlos Rodon right now is Jacob fucking DeGrom.
Not bad company.
Anthony Rizzo.
You forgot about Rizzo. And Keegan Thompson.
Well, qualified pitcher. Sorry. Qualified.
Okay. But I'm pretty sure like most of the White Sox fan base, and again, maybe I'm generalizing, but I think that's a safe bet, was like, oh, thank God we don't have to worry about like if he's going to be healthy or not. We don't have to worry about like, is he a 5th starter? Are we going to put him in the bullpen? Is he taking away innings from anybody else? He just turned that into I'm the best fucking pitcher in like the American League. Like holy shit, where did this come from? I mean he was like the 3rd overall pick, right? So I mean he obviously has the talent, but obviously the injuries took a toll on him throughout his like first 4 or 5 years with the Sox. Good for him though. Like this, good for him.
How about this? The White Sox drafting a guy that early in the first round and letting that guy find his wings, like a Garrett Crochet. Same thing. But Rodon right now is at that point where he's actually at the light clicked on moment. And that's the most exciting part of a baseball player's career. Aldo, you and I saw it with Jake Arrieta. We got to see it might not have been long. It was but when the light came on, it's when they've worked so hard in their career to get to that point, and then they get to that point. Obviously, it's like you ride the wave, you ride the break, right? And you keep going. And with Rodon right now, what he's doing, like the baseball, when it explodes out of his hand, and
it looks so easy,
side, and it's effortless. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel like it's physically like. It doesn't feel like it's heavy, like a heavy workload. I don't want to say workload, but he's not laboring out there. Everything that he does feels like he could throw that with his kid out in a park playing catch with his buddies, or whatever, playing football or whatever. It's effortless. He's not doing things that are unhealthy right now, and he's doing it so well that and everyone's so worried about his health. And can he hold this up? Everyone that's watching, you have to look at how effortless this looks. It has to calm that anxiety a little bit about worrying about his health as he progresses into, again, more outings and more appearances as, of course, out with his health issues. But you got to believe that the effortless is probably why he's learned how to throw effortlessly.
And watch Carlos Rodon start, man. He starts out 94, 95, and then by the 6th, 7th inning, he's popping trip digits, dude. And it's like that is a healthy arm. Mm-hmm. That is what a good healthy pitcher gets loose as the game goes on, and the velocity increases until he hits that wall, and then you see him get tired and it decreases a little bit.
And I say this too. Now, how many baseball players have you guys ever seen, or friends that that you play baseball with, that the first damn throw they make, getting loose, they think they're throwing a Game 7 of the World Series, trying to blow it by like Alex Rodriguez. They're throwing the ball as hard as they can on their they don't progress. It's just getting stretched out. I'm not even talking about like in a real game, in a season, in a year. I'm talking about just in like getting loose in the park. There are dudes that can't go out there and just, let's take it slow. We're going to say, baby, tie your shoes, baby steps. He's baby stepping himself into so much success that he's going to be better late. Now, if this is how his games are going, you have to assume that the whole process is going to go that way. He's going to be better in September than anybody on that White Sox staff. I know he already is now, but I'm saying like even after the lulls, he's going to hit a lull in September. This is the guy you want on the bump in a Game 7. I'm saying this is the guy you want in a Game 7 bump.
So
yeah, I get what you're saying though, Kevin. I agree because he's got that fuck you mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna pull a Hawk Harrelson here and be like, I have no clue if this is true or not, but off just like anecdotal evidence, I feel Carlos Rodon. So he had Tommy John in 2019.
Yep.
Obviously missed the rest of, I think it was like mid-May when he had it. Missed of 2019. Obviously the delay of 2020, and then he had a shoulder like problem in 2020. And then had that like awful relief appearance against Cleveland like the last week of the season. But like I always feel like, when a pitcher has the Tommy John, like it's not the next year, so it wouldn't be 2020. It's the year after they just become good. It's like it's not just like it's the year after, but I always feel like now it's not like Tommy John in the 90s.
I'm following you, and I agree.
The new Tommy John is like when you get Tommy John, like after that, you come out better.
Well, here's the key. What they're doing is the rehab that they're doing. If you guys haven't, like, if you guys don't know, like, the structure of how they do these rehabs, everything is about balance, right? So you're going elbow, you're working elbow. They're not just working the elbow and the tendons that they're trying to get back to 100%. They're also working shoulder, front, back. They're doing core work. They're trying to make sure that everything that goes on with the body can eventually become synced with because again, balance is everything. And so with Tommy John surgery, which is now becoming so much industry, like more industry standard, then it's one of the most common. It's probably more common than ACL surgery at this point. It just has a longer bounce back time. You're seeing these guys that are coming back that, again, Tommy John is a result of more off-speed stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? Guess where your velo comes from? Your core and your shoulder.
Right.
So now all of a sudden, these guys are also working the balance of their shoulder. So they have this off time. They're not giving up bullets in their shoulder. They're rehabbing the bullets in their elbow. And all of a sudden, these guys get back on the bump and they start going. And if they properly follow through with the regiment, some guys don't. Some guys can't hold back. They have no choice. They just can't do it. They rush. you can all of a sudden see these guys, and the guys that are patient enough to let the process play out with the rehab, you see the increase in velocity. You're seeing Chasen Shreve's older brother, Colby Shreve, had elbow surgery. He came back after Tommy John and went from throwing 92 to 98. Why? Because he was on the box. He was doing which was like a workout at the time, because he balanced out elbow trauma with everything else. And the balance, of course, created so much better strength and isolated strength in all those special areas. So that's why Rodon is this thing is about his off speed. I'm not if he's throwing more fastballs and changeups during a ball game, I'm not super concerned with his workload. I'm more concerned as how many spinners is he throwing up there, and how much can the elbow handle eventually, because tendons aren't muscles.
And by the way, another guy, speaking of Tommy John surgery, having it, and even this guy kind of later in his career and coming back stronger. And I think he's Zoe's favorite pitcher, Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn missed all of 2016. He's come back. I think he's had just one rough stretch with the Twins in 2018.
His new name is Mr. Fuck You Fastball.
Yeah, I mean, he's just phenomenal.
He's throwing it. If you can hear cussing in the bullpen, he's throwing. Is that him or is that Hendricks? I can't remember.
Both.
Those are guys they're getting loose. If they're like Aaron Rowan. Aaron Rowan, actually, you not even don't send your kids to an Aaron Rowan camp without signing a waiver about cuss words, because every third word out of Aaron Rowan's mouth is fuck. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Some of these ball players have it's just a vernacular.
I mean, I'm looking at right now at Lance Lynn's pitch breakdown for this year. He's thrown 44% four-seamers, 28% cutters, and another 20% sink. He basically just throws the ball fucking hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes it move.
How many sliders or curves or any of those?
2.2%. He's thrown 17 curveballs this year.
I fucking love that.
His bounce back has to be incredible. He is a World Series bounce back and throw every game except one kind of guy in a 7-game series, because he's just blasting it. He's not doing it. He's not throwing the off speed stuff. I love it. Unless of course he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed.
Well, no, he is the poster child right now for tunneling. If you want to teach a young pitcher how to have the same release point, but
different pitches.
Yeah, that's, and Stone brings it up all the time when he pitches in the White Sox broadcast that Lance Lynn
tunneling will never get
right.
It will never get normal for some of us that are 12 years old in our head. But you're correct. That's we call it sinking. We call it sinking too. But yeah.
Well, I just go off of what Steve Stone calls it, and
that's a Richard Gere era kind of yeah.
But yeah, you're old.
He's older. That's what I'm saying. He's making a Richard Gere reference.
Steve Stone's just trying to connect to the kids, Kevin.
But the fact though that Lance Lynn is doing this while he's eating innings for the White Sox. He's been kind of a great stopper for this team. And it's been really, really fun to watch. It's always my new favorite thing when he pitches is for Stone or Jason to talk about how good of a fastball hitter a guy is, and then watch Lance Lynn throw 3 of them right down his fucking throat.
Challenge.
Yeah, like Mike Trout. That was the best one. Mike Trout's the best fastball hitter in the history of baseball. Lance Lynn, here's 4 fastballs.
I mean, this goes back. This just goes back to I'm sure we all love the dirty pitches, the sliders that fucking move, or the curveballs that fucking hop. But there's just nothing better than just here's my fucking best. Try to hit it. You can't. Right down the middle. And that's Lance Lynn.
And he's yelling. Yeah.
And I remember Lance Lynn from his Cardinals days. Obviously didn't like him that much. I was being a Cubs fan. But that's a dude who always and the thing is, it's when you think about power pitchers, when you think of the power pitcher, you always think of
Rob Dibble.
Well, for me, you always think of some sort of wildness. It's he throws hard, but
inconsistently consistent, or consistently inconsistent, which makes you never want to dig in because you never know where it's going.
But Lynn is the great combination of he throws hard, but he is throwing strikes. You don't really have to worry about a lot of walks. It's just and it's not like the guy I don't know. You don't have to worry about if he leaves one over the middle, he'll give up his home runs just because he does throw a lot of strikes. But you don't have to worry about that a lot. because he's going to beat you most
solo
of the time.
Shot. They should be solo shots.
Yes.
Fergie Jenkins.
Yes.
Fergie Jenkins. He set the major league record in a season where for most home runs in a season by a pitcher. And
One Cy Young.
One Cy Young. Yeah. Like solo shots. Who cares? Like if you're closing and you're up 2 and you give a solo, don't give up free passes. The fact that he has the command with that too. And this is where you're getting some players now, because baseball now has become starting pitchers to 4 or 5. And then now you have your specialists. It's actually I remember, this is old man yelling at cloud. I remember like 10 years ago when people were complaining that baseball became so specified that they're using relievers in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And like now we're like, oh, they made it to the 5th. Hell yeah. Give it to like blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, look at that. Because you're playing these matchups and it's exhausting. And these relievers, which I will never, relievers have the best job and the worst job in professional sports, in my opinion. They have to deal with instant failure, instant success. They also have to chase if they had a bad day like a month ago, they're still chasing it 2 months later because their ERA is still showing whatever. So these guys go out there and they have the new game. And so when you have a guy like Hendricks that you could just throw out there and look, I throw strikes, I can challenge you, and they operate on balls and guts. It's exciting for the fans because everybody loves a closeout. It's great for ratings. It's great for obviously other reasons because the fans, again, when Guaranteed Rate Field is jam-packed in a playoff game, and you have Liam Hendricks with an 0-2 count or a 3-2 count, and he throws a fastball dead red and blows it by whatever chumps in the box to close out that game. Think about the excitement that's going to go on. And those guys, that's what they do. And then you have like guys like Chaffee in the 7th and 8th inning, guys that can kind of work around like the lefty righty stuff. Whereas Hendricks is just fuck you, eat it or don't. And I love it. I love that new part about baseball. That's one of the new stuff, the new, I guess, adaptations that baseball is like kind of evolving into that I really actually do appreciate, because if you have a rubber arm, you have a career. If you can have a rubber arm and bounce back, and I love relievers more than anything else because
that's a perfect two quick things, and then we'll bounce over to the Cubs because the Cubs bullpen's been lights out lately. But one, Liam Hendricks, get off his nuts when he comes in with bases loaded and Aaron Judge up. I mean, it sucks the result there, but like, man, like
anomaly.
He's been playing very well. Look at his month of May. He has 5 saves and 10 appearances. He actually has a 0 ERA because the runs aren't his that he's inheriting. And then he has 14 strikeouts to 8 hits. Like, can he be better? Yes. It's May.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and then the second thing is this isn't really news. That's why we didn't really talk about it this much, because it's kind of a foregone conclusion, but it seems to be more and more official now. The White Sox are going to be getting Oscar Colas, the Cuban, the Cuban Ohtani.
My apologies for getting your hopes up last night, Zoe, with that accidental misread.
No, that's fine. I didn't think they were going to get him just because of, I know they went all in for Colas here, but he's posting pictures on his. I follow him on Instagram. He's posting pictures on his Instagram, head to toe White Sox gear. Like, he's not even like trying to hide it anymore. They call him the Cuban Ohtani. I think what we're gonna do is bring on like a James Fox or someone from Future Sox here in the next couple of weeks to kind of give us some more in-depth breakdown of what exactly the White Sox are getting with him. Mm-hmm. But for some reason that's been more in the headlines, and I don't know what's changed. I don't know if that official signing period is coming up or something, but he's all of a sudden posting stuff in White Sox gear. Hector Gomez, amongst a lot of other people. I know it's not just Hector, so don't have a fucking heart attack, everybody. Is
still waiting on the good news.
Is going to, but I mean, it's on MLB.com right now and all this stuff. And also, take this little brief in between the Cubs and the White Sox talk. Go buy some Pinwheels and Ivy merch, buy a shirt, buy a mug.
You have a recommendation for some merch too, if you'd like to see something like Zoe riding a horse, a unicorn, gloriously into battle. Give us those ideas, and we'll make them happen. That we can do that. So you want Abd Zoe from 300 standing up against all the Nick Magical haters at the gates of Thermopylae? We'll do this. I just came up with an idea, I think, pretty much. So.
Zoe, I did want to ask you.
And then I
did see this
one more
from-
side, one say,
Oh,
and
go
I
ahead,
do
go
want to
ahead.
give a shout out to this week's shirt is Violent Gentlemen. It's not baseball at all. It's a hockey website, but they make dope ass shit. So check them out, Violent Gentlemen. Google that shit. They got really cool hockey gear, and I absolutely love this hoodie. So
All right,
Any other
should we all be
podcasts
rooting for the
throw out,
Golden
by the
Knights?
way? Like, anybody else want to throw out some podcasts? Like,
no, I'm just saying you send me free shit, I'll wear it
No,
and shout you out on the
I
show.
say no. Have you guys read? Have
Yeah,
you guys
if we get a
anything new-
free Tainted Glove shirt, we'll wear it.
Well, I wasn't trying to plug Tainted Glove, but
Yeah.
I was just saying,
So-
like, have you guys heard anything new from that sphere? Because that's like the before the Twitch sphere. That's like the pre-Twitch sphere. That's like, although you're kind of aged now because you're post-Twitch. So like you're a podcast Twitch.
That's right.
You're a
Yeah.
podcast generation. So like you're the so. Is there anything?
I only see one person on Twitch besides Jumper is Trilly Whiskers, ex Barcelona play. Zoe, I wanted to ask you because I saw people kind of make I felt it was a bigger deal out of nothing, really. But what was your takeaway from the Yankees series?
It was just a shitty series. It was a shitty
Right, like-
series in late May. You went into the Bronx. The slumps are going to happen. You know, the bats just didn't really show up. Jose Abreu hit a tank. We talked about Andy Vaughn, but like, it wasn't the White Sox, and it's going to happen over a 162 game season. It's not like they were getting. I mean, the Saturday game they got their fucking doors blown off, but for the most part, the pitching was fine, kept the offense in check, and it's going to happen over a course of a 162 game season. Does it suck that it happened against the Yankees? Yes, because now I started getting DMs and tweets. Your team shit against good teams, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Like I get it. That's fine. And after that, though, I was thinking on Sunday night, I'm like, you know what's going to be really telling is how they come back against the Cardinals.
Mhm.
That's another first place team at the time. You're welcome, Cubs. And I mean, the
Don't worry,
Cubs,
we took care of them 2 or 3 as well. So
I was going to say the Cubs are doing damn fine on their own.
the
But,
same thing last weekend. Been there. Simpsons did it.
but I was just like, well, we'll see how they bounce back. Because if they would have came out and lost the series or got swept by the Cardinals, then I would have been like, oh shit, you know, like.
Like for the most part, I've always been the belief. Like, I mean, obviously, again, baseball is a 162 game season. I think I fall more onto Kevin said, like how you finish, like how you if you're a playoff team, how you're riding into the playoffs.
Yep.
But even then, like sometimes you just like give like you've clinched the division early and you don't really care about the last week, maybe. But I don't really believe in this. In like maybe the team does care. Like maybe it's like a July series, like for the Sox, let's say, and like maybe they're facing the Twins or something.
Mhm.
But like as a fan or whatever, it's like, oh, like show me that you're good or something. Like I don't really believe in the whole statement series. And like I did see a few like, oh, you know, this is like puts into perspective for the Sox. You know, you can beat up on the good teams or on the bad teams, but you know, when you're facing good competition.
I want
Yada,
them to beat
yada,
up the bad
Guys,
teams.
let's be honest too, and I've talked to KB about this a ton because again, the Cardinals Cubs rivalry, like for example, because I give them shit because I hate the Cardinals, I hate them,
Yeah.
I hate the Mets, I hate the Mets too, like there, and the response is perfect, like, and it's actually typical of like their generation because they played club ball against friends too, and like, they played 150 games a season. It's hard to care all the time about winning and losing. You just want to compete, and you see these guys out there. So like, while fans are freaking out, like, oh god, it's like Bears fans. I think football's different. Like when because you build up a whole week and like they're building up towards hating their opponent. Baseball, it's like, God, there's so much. It's like, who's on the docket today? Like it's 162. All right, so who's today? Oh, good. It's Adam Wainwright. Oh, it's the Cardinals. Oh yeah, we're in St. Louis, so I guess expect blankety blank. But it's not like, oh god, yeah, it's July and I'm playing the fucking Cardinals. Like they're not doing that. They're going like, hey, what are you having for dinner tonight? Like it's
And also the whole you can't
That's
beat good
fair.
teams. If the Sox didn't beat up on like the Tigers and shit like that, they're not going to win their division. Like you got to play the teams on your schedule.
it's not their
Sox-
fault. They're very hurt.
it's not their fault that the fucking Twins are straight cheeks this year. It's awesome, but it's not their fault.
Eat the bad, split with the good. That's it. That's
That's fine.
whole That's
I'm good with that.
all 162.
Like you have a Baltimore team that's limping into the South Side tonight, and weather permitting, hopefully on Thursday night they get this game in with Dylan Cease, who's also been pitching very well.
And your reception. That's what happened.
The other thing too, though, I mean, outside of what's his
Kevin,
name?
Zoe's reception is bad, right?
Yeah, it's those. Yeah,
I thought it was just me.
No, it's not.
It was him this time.
Because as we know, I have had some Wi-Fi troubles this 2021 baseball season.
All those, like, see if I can get it up again.
No,
it's you. Your makeup table is drawing some heat.
The only Baltimore player though that's really, when the White Sox run into John Means. I mean, that guy's been pitching really well. Yeah, I got the little pop-up just came up right here saying my internet connectivity is unstable. So.
Is Brody on the iPad? What's going on here?
It sounds like the flip phone video I have of Barry Bonds tying Hank Aaron's record on my cell phone that I still have to this day. Oh, you're frozen totally, Zoe, by the way. But I still have to this day. I have the video of Barry Bonds hitting the tying home run in San Diego. But it's on a flip phone. It's on a Motorola, like a shit ass Motorola. I don't even know how to get it back.
Like the Razor, the old Razors?
If I could get back into my MySpace page, I think it's somewhere on my MySpace page. But yes, this is 2006, 2006, 7? 6, I think 6.
Probably.
06 or 705. We were coaching at a baseball at the Gabe Kapler games down in San Diego. And it was like at USD. And so all the coaches and all the players went to this game, and it was the Barry Bonds game. So we hit the jack in the first, and we were all trying to get over there. But yeah, I got people yelling Barry and like making fun of him for steroids. And the minute he hits the jack, same dudes are like, "This is the best moment of my life." So they were insulting him, and then once he hit the jack, it was the best moment they've ever seen. 25, including me, males on the concourse calling their fathers to talk about the moment they just watched, which was really cool. But it's trying to find the MySpace page, I think. But how do you like pull from a flip phone? I still have the flip phone. It's in a cigar box back there. I never threw it away. But
to answer the
you
question,
connect it to your laptop.
Is there a way to? It's the circle. It's the circle jack.
Oh,
yeah. That's how old this is.
I
was gonna say email, but I think the file is too big.
It's somewhere on. It's on MySpace somewhere. Like I have posted it on some sort of social platform. I just have to really dig into my digital history, I guess, which is going to be creepy.
By the way, podcast listeners, you haven't heard Zoe because he is still struggling with the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
No clue what happened.
We should all now shame him like we did Aldo last week. And Zoe,
I mean, we can. I guess
yours is clear, Aldo. By the way, so you obviously have been settled. Your background even looks sharp too. Like
I've made some changes.
Green screen looks really good too.
I think we should change. Here we go. Zoe's replacement.
Yep. So we're gonna go right to. Since Zoe's out for a second, we're gonna go.
I mean, this is a perfect time to switch over the Cubs.
He always cuts us off early anyway because like, and that'll be Zoe. We talked about the Cubs for 4 minutes, so we're gonna get 7 minutes of Cubs stuff tonight.
Let's get to it, Kevin.
All right, so bullpen. Let's talk about the bullpen first off. We can't gloat enough about. First off, Andrew Chafin is obviously a god, not the god, but a god.
There you go. That's better.
Yes, there he is.
Grandpa's back. God damn it.
We're talking about the hottest team in baseball now.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's right. And to answer Yumper's question, yes, I do have Comcast, but I just pulled some maneuvers to get around that right now. So
I mean, it seemed like it worked.
Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
Hank. Sorry, Hank. By the way, Mailman Jack, if you're still in the chat, I know he was afraid that his wife was a little bit attracted to Hank. So one of those mailman route attractiveness things. Where
there's probably like 6 people that know what you're talking about. So what are you guys talking about with the Cubs right now?
Bullpen. Here we go. Kevin started out with Chafin.
Yep.
And here's the stat that you need to know.
Everybody getting it done.
Here's the stat that you need to know. So after Thursday's win, sweeping the Pirates, and again, just like the Sox, you got to beat the shitty teams and then, be competitive against everybody else if you're going to win. The Cubs bullpen.
Cardinals.
that's right, the shitty Cardinals. Anyway, the Cubs bullpen, the month of May, absolutely fucking fabulous, amazing. This is what they've done their last 34 2/3 innings. They have not allowed an earned run. Unbelievable. And that's everybody. That's not just Kimbrel. That's not just Chafin. Because I know.
Is Rizzo included in that? And there's that big old blowout game included.
Maybe.
Which, here's the best part: if you include that blowout game and you take, you can't actually take out Rizzo because he actually did good, but you take out that game too. That was like one of those give up games too.
And like the Cubs bullpen, I think we talked about at the end of April. Obviously the Cubs had a losing month. And we've talked about how the bullpen led, like they were top 5, I think, in strikeout percentage, but they were like number 1 in walk percentage. They finally stopped walking, guys.
That was it.
Well, except for one guy, Dan Winkler. But hey, even Dan Winkler.
Hey,
Dan Winkler. And I haven't tweeted about him in a while, but like I was about to.
Fonzie. That's a Fonzie tweet.
Hold on a second.
Oh, what?
I haven't heard that name in a while. I just want to see something. Yeah, that's the dude. That's the dude with the goofy ass baseball card on MLB The Show. That every time he pops up, I'm like, Jesus, dude, take a better
Dan
picture.
Winkler. Okay, so the Cubs got Dan Winkler.
Fonzie out every time he blows this like something.
So the Cubs got Dan Winkler for the 2020 season in MLB The Show 20. He is automatically made your closer, and I thought heading into the season, I was like, all right, Dan Winkler, he's gonna be fucking great, right? He's like 88 overall in MLB The Show, like he must be kind of good. He was like Tyler Chatwood 2.0, and he still kind of is, but he has like a 0. He has like a 0.60 ERA or something.
Oh, God. Just so you guys know, Zoe just put the picture of Dan Winkler up on the screen, and it does look like, unless he had a blue skin, it does look like one of, if you've seen the 3rd episode of the Hobbit film series, one of he looks like he's about to basically try to take away the
But shout out again, obviously, shout out to Craig Kimbrell, who
absolutely
fucking fantastic,
unreal.
Andrew Chafin. By the way, Husky Bardo, if you want to trade me Craig Kimbrell, he's on your bench. You can do that.
I'm out with Justin Steele, but still, we'll get him back fine.
Justin Steele has been fabulous. Sucks that he had that hamstring injury. Fucking hate pitchers having too bad.
Coming back though.
Keegan Thompson is one of like 2 pitchers who still hasn't allowed an earned run with at least like 10 innings pitched. He's been fucking phenomenal.
Fantastic.
And then there is some weird stuff going on. I have no clue. Like Dylan Maples has pitched like twice in May. Rex Brothers hasn't pitched like since May 9th, which is, again, they've been doing good, but like I'm kind of glad because those guys are kind of scary.
Rex is a roller coaster of
he's
a glass case of emotion really when he's on the bump, because he either gets it done and it's great, or he self-destructs to the point where you're like, dear God, and he's not that bad. He's really not. It's just drugs. Right.
Oh, and then obviously Ryan Tepera, who got the save on Thursday. I mean, he's been great too lately.
Boy.
The entire bullpen. I mean, again, 34 2/3 innings pitched in a row without giving up a run. Phenomenal. And obviously you need that nowadays because, the Cubs starting pitching, besides a couple of guys, I mean, not even a couple of guys. I think Alzolay was one of the first guys on Saturday who went 7 innings. I think, Hendricks on Thursday gave 3 solo home runs. But I mean, for the most part, he looked good. He went 7 innings, but a lot of it is a lot of 5-inning starts.
Wow.
God damn it. So who's you're freaking me out with Dan Winkler's pitch.
Jeez, Pete. This is incredibly.
But the starting rotation is a lot of just like you're hoping for 5, maybe 6 good innings, and then right now David Ross is just turning it over to the bullpen. And I saw this tweet, and again, I know we're not in June yet. We're barely maybe a third of the season in.
Mm-hmm.
We have no clue what this team is going to look like after the trade deadline. We don't know what it's going to look like in September, but the bullpen, as it's constructed now, and that's with Justin Steele on the IL, so when you get him back, it's going to get even better. You have the makings of a bullpen that normally makes deep runs in the playoffs. So that's encouraging because at the beginning of the season, it didn't look like that.
Can I piggyback on that too to remind all of you Cubs fan listeners that last night Burl Caraway faced 5 batters and struck out 4.
That's your guy.
Decent.
So he is literally been unhittable. So that's another mature,
real quick,
aged guy that is possibly going to find himself up in September.
For those of you watching us live on Thursday night, White Sox money line odds are fucking cheeks, so it's not even worth it. So I went White Sox money line's like minus 220. 1.5, and I think it was like, I don't know, I'd look again. But I took Dylan Cease over strikeouts, and I took Yohan Moncada to hit home run because it's his birthday. And
Can you
why
share the
not?
screen? We could get some, because I can't. I'm not allowed to access that in Vegas. That's illegal.
And by the way,
what are the other props? What do we got? Some props. What's some props? It's the Orioles. I think the White Sox are going to win by like 8. So if you can, I will differ with Joe on this. If you can get run line, take the run line. If you can actually, again, so I can do this on the you get the props or whatever. If you can get a 3-run White Sox win or a 3.3 plus 3.5, take it. They're going to win by 4 or more.
Well, the Sox over 4.5 team total runs is minus 125. Yeah, see the it's just the
parlay.
Vegas, yeah, Vegas.
Who's starting for the Orioles?
Not gonna work here anymore. Minus 1.5 White Sox is minus 115.
Parlay those if you can parlay those. Put 3 of those in with the same bet and just take your winnings. You don't have to win $100 billion. You could just win 25 on a 10. Like
right. And then this is the other thing though. It gonna rain.
So how do your books do? Because our books go if you go 7, that's it. Like you still win.
I believe it's 7. I'm not sure though. I'd have to look.
Regular game is 5. But I think the books pay out at 7.
Sorry. Continue with the. I just want to get that in before the game started.
I would. Who also? What are the odds for a Nick? What's tonight's odds for a Nick Madrigal home run? Just to hear it.
Hold on a second.
And compare those with Vaughn.
Oh yeah, just PointsBet. By the way, promo code Pin Mills. PointsBet. Does PointsBet still have those wacky, for whatever reason, Nick Madrigal has better odds than Andrew Vaughn for a home run?
Let's see. Neither which are listed here. So let me go to another website, another app.
You know why Nick Madrigal?
Because the weather. They're probably not going to throw it out there because it's rainy, and they're worried about undervaluing someone that might hit a home run in the rain. They need to, because they're afraid, like if they say, "Oh, it's raining, you're not gonna hit a homer."
Vaughn is plus 400 to hit a home run. Madrigal's plus 1,600.
So did they change the?
What if you parlay them both? No, I was kidding. Back to no.
Yasmani Grandel's plus 290. He's in the 2-hole tonight.
If it's raining, I'd bet no homers tonight. If it's raining, I'd bet no homers.
Yeah, that's why I got Cease over strikeouts. But go ahead. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Speaking of home run prop bets, I did it. Zoe didn't get it in time, but
no, you called Chris Bryant.
Hit a home run against one of his sons, Tyler Anderson.
Can confirm.
Ooh, he has more home runs this year in Major League Baseball than he had in high school when Tyler actually intentionally dosed KB in one of our games. Just a side note. They've played with each other since high school.
Wait.
Anyway.
I know that Chris doesn't take anything like that. But was he mad?
Who?
KB.
Dose?
When he got hit, yeah.
He hit on purpose, yeah, because he was supposed to go to Spring Valley, and Nick left Spring Valley, and that's where Tyler played. So Tyler's coach told him to dose him. Jason's good friends with Tyler, so it's even funnier that. There's not a lot of love lost there, apparently, between the adults that were alive when it happened. I guess.
KB owns Tyler Anderson. He's like
in the show.
Yeah, in the show.
We saw Tyler. Every time we saw Spring Valley when they were young, growing up. So,
Chris Bryant, still a fucking beast. Cubs, please sign some extension.
Go get Tyler Anderson. He's a good starter. If there's a starter issue for a trade or a bullpen guy, that's another.
Pull off another Kenny Lofton, Aramis Ramirez trade from 2003. Do that. Get Tyler Anderson in rotation.
Go get Shreve.
By the way, Zoe, when you brought up the AAA numbers earlier, it made sense because Patrick Wisdom was called up because of all the Cubs injuries, and he made a start today.
MVP.
So minor league season started in May, and here we had 3 home runs in the first 3 weeks, and that made sense because the fucking ball is juiced. But he was able to do it in the show. Hit his first home run for the Cubs. Had a double.
Yeah,
too.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that pop up when I was checking the score, I was like, "Who?" It was like that Soldier Boy meme. Who? Yeah.
Now it's great because now whenever we see Patrick Wisdom, we can always say, Cubs legend Patrick Wisdom.
Yes.
But I mean, Hendricks did give the 3 home runs. But I mean, he was fucking cruising most of the time. But there was at no point was I like, oh fuck, here comes Hendricks again.
But he
He's
gave
fine.
up 2 jacks today, and he gave up 3 solo jacks.
Mhm.
Don't walk people. Give up the solo jacks. Mistakes are mistakes. They don't hurt as bad. When your offense could put up 3 solo jacks means nothing. Like that's the best part of what. That's when Kyle Hendricks is good too, because that's what he doesn't do. He doesn't give up free passes. And this earlier in the season, he was giving up free passes. Then someone would just walk. I mean, these guys are professional strength meat, like beef floats. Like they're fine. Hit a soft 85-mile-an-hour hanger. Done. So now when you make those mistakes, that's what he's always been though. Like, and that's good. Today was actually a really good one too. I thought he did well early.
I mean, we might as well get to it now. The Pittsburgh Pirates being the Pirates. I mean, most of when you get just think of this though. In the year 2021 on Twitter, this was trending. The phrase "there were 2 outs" that was trending because the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The last time this would have trended would be the time that what's his name thought that the game was over and he handed the ball to the fan. And this was like back in like the early 90s, right? What's his name in LA that handed the ball to the fan on the sack fly?
I mean, that's happened a lot of times. This is never trending. This is
social media, though. Like I'm saying, it's been a long time since someone made something this boneheaded where you're like, bro, 2 outs.
I mean, just step on first. Just step on first.
Literally just moonwalk back to first base.
Very well.
I mean, a hand. You gotta give it up for his team, Tyler Anderson, who pitched pretty well. He got screwed over those 2 runs that he gave up there with the bias play, and then like a bloop base hit after that. But after the game, he was like, there was 8 other guys standing on the field. We should have all been yelling first base. Nobody did. It was quiet. The manager was like, it's on me. No clue. I guess hey, good job for standing up for your guy. But like Will Craig, I now know who Will Craig is because of this play.
And here's the thing too, like, hey, great job by the entire like Pirates. This is Today was embarrassing. Like that was an embarrassment. I can honestly say it's one of the worst Major League Baseball plays I've ever seen because how easy it could have just been handled. Like he caught the baseball 6 inches from first base. Like he caught the ball. All he had to do is actually just do a toe tap back and the inning's over. For some reason, I'm
watching it again as you guys are describing it.
Craig thought the guy at the plate mattered for some reason. So he had a bad throw and he came forward thinking, I'll just tag Javi. Well, Javi didn't come out of the box hot. Javi was like, shit, routine ground ball to third. Third baseman makes a little bit, left side of the bag. And Javi, credit to Javi on this part. Okay. Cause again, there's high baseball IQ and there's just being the smartest idiot in the room. And in this case, Javi didn't hustle, which makes him part of the problem. But at the same time, when Javi saw that he was dealing with someone that was his mark, oh boy, Javi starts dancing. And yeah, Craig comes in and all you had to do, again, the run scores. The run could have scored. He could have taken like a 10-minute stroll, maybe done some jumping jacks. He could have maybe
such a stupid fucking play.
And guess what? If the runner is tagged, he's out. And the runner doesn't matter no matter what he did at the plate. And here's the worst part. Now, let's not blame just Craig. And this is why I think I wanted to talk about this. This was a textbook play for coaches to teach being in a spot at all times when it's time for your opportunity. So if you guys are watching this right now, it's a ground ball to third, no problem, inside of the bag. Okay. And fine. But then the minute Javi turns around and starts jogging, big guy Craig started dogging it too. He dragged ass. You watch him how he trots, right? Well, again, look at the right fielder, look at the second baseman. Rewind that real quick. Go back and look at the right fielder and the second baseman when this is all happening. Because just a reminder that
this is second baseman. This is the right fielder.
And this is all after this play has happened, right? We've got dancing and monkey business around the plate area. So how many seconds is that? Like what, 3 or 4 seconds? And they're just chilling out, just not paying attention. The right fielder's job on a ground ball to third is to break to the right field line, get to the baseball cut on the dirt and the grass, and then decide where to read the baseball. He's nowhere near that. He's hanging out and just picking his butt. And this is the problem is he could have seen this immediately and gone and just hover over the bag just in case. Nobody's there. Second baseman. Immediately you know that the throw across a diamond is happening. You break towards, again, right field line. If you are a middle infielder, second baseman, or a right fielder, when there is a play at third, you break.
Look at where this throw was, too.
Terrible throw.
And here's the worst part is that he could have gone inside like a normal catcher does on a pitch that's in the dirt, given him one or two more steps, or made a better throw. And instead, he makes a panic. Look where he's throwing it from, too. He's throwing it across him instead of getting. Again, it's just, there's so much bad baseball.
Honestly,
in this entire circus, it's horrible. The base running's bad. Other than Wilson Contreras breaking on instant contact on 2 outs with a ground ball to third, he's fine. Again, then they make the back for a second.
This is my favorite part of the whole play. My favorite part of the whole play is when the shortstop covering second base is just like
fuck this.
Fuck this. He's just like, bah.
Is that the shortstop? Because wait, who is that at second base right now?
I think it's the shortstop.
Is it?
Yeah,
I think so.
100%.
No,
I don't know because that glove looks really large. That's all I was saying. That glove looks.
Maybe.
Wait, where's everybody? Like where? Like I'm.
That's got to be.
I mean, that's the.
It's like number 16 right here at second. Who's it? Is there number 16 on the Pirate?
I don't know, but this looks like the third baseman. This looks like the shortstop.
I mean, no.
That's Rizzo. Rizzo's having the time of his life over there. Look at that smile.
When you watch another team self-destruct like that, it's maybe the most entertaining thing a dugout can possibly find because they're like, "Yeah, good job, idiot. You just got bailed out." Like it's perfect because sometimes you fuck up, and Javi didn't fuck up.
I mean, Javi Cabrera didn't fuck up at all. The only person
he fucked up by not running out of the box, but he also fucked up by giving the safe sign and hanging.
Wait, ready? It was right here where he realized I done fucked up.
Go forward. Guess who's giving him the safe sign in front of the plate out of the runner's lane when the ready and you're called safe. Wait, there it is. Right? Hey, if you knew that if you knew that all you had to do is get to first base in the situation and then you're safe, if you know this for real, you're breaking the second the first baseman lets the ball leave his hand just like a rundown and you're breaking towards first while the stuff at the plate unveils. Javi had no idea. Nobody had any idea. Nobody.
It was hilarious.
Which makes it one of the funniest baseball plays. Like the Benny Hill theme is fantastic. I'm not mad at Javi. I'm not. Again, let's be real on this. But to call it a high baseball IQ play, no. That's just one of the lowest baseball IQ plays like we've seen on film ever. Like
I was rolling my eyes pretty hard at the ESPN and MLB accounts and shit, being like the magic of Javi Baez, like.
I guess illusion.
Like the thing about that is though,
for cash.
Like the thing about that is though, like I know I agree because Baez didn't even know what the hell was going on. This happens like every couple of months. I have no clue why when Javier Baez does something on the base paths, baseball players just don't. They forget that they're playing baseball. They have no clue what they're because this has happened previous times where there'll just be a rundown and somehow he's just safe.
I'm hard on him a ton, but there has to be a Javi Baez algorithm equation that factors into what is this guy gonna do? Is he gonna? So that's a weird thing, which is not great for winning teams. By the way, it's great for entertainment, but it's not a great thing for winning ball games. This goes over well with the Pirates. The Dodgers aren't going to make this kind of mistake in a playoff game. So, in my sense, here's me as a coach going. At least now he made the mistake. He learned as a base runner. We know, read the throw. We know how many outs. And as a defender now, a lot of coaches across the country are getting to teach their kids going, hey, guys, A, know the outs. B, understand, look, no matter what Javi Baez does here, and no matter what that runner does, if Javi Baez is either tagged or first base is tagged before he reaches first,
just step in first.
All the rest of the circus is just around.
That was the most hilarious thing ever.
So bad. And
you're absolutely right, though, Kevin.
That was a little league double. That was the ultimate little league double.
If you're a little league coach or you have a son or daughter that's in little league baseball right now, and you are not using that as a teaching moment, you're fucking up.
Yep.
I think
harder.
Zoe, I think it was your cousin Jay. He tweeted out, he's like, it's good to know that even as a softball coach, even professionals fuck up sometimes.
Yep. Well, Jay is
softball, right? I think he said softball.
Jay's daughter is into softball. She's been working her ass off and God bless her for it. And so Jay's gotten into softball, big deal. And
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said, as a Cubs fan, this is amazing. As a softball coach, it's reassuring to know that even the pros forget to just take the simple out at first sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
I can tell you this, though, and I told you guys this in the chat. In that locker room in Pittsburgh right now, 100% of that locker room is so excited that Major League Baseball, Fox News, ESPN,
The big boys,
all the big social media accounts are all tweeting El Magic instead of El Dumbo.
Yeah.
They are so happy. Like, it's getting mad. Like, that actual locker room is like, thank God.
No. I mean, yes and no, because again,
there
were 2 outs was trending. So everyone was shitting on the Pirates too. As much as it was like El Mayo Magic, it was like the Pirates are a fucking AAA team. Like I think what a tweet was that went viral was, it was like Will Craig will never make this mistake when he gets promoted to a major league team.
Yeah. See, that's even funnier. But hey,
I mean, that was good.
We talked about it, though. It's a fundamental thing, right? So, and again, Javi did what Javi does, which is create havoc.
And you know what?
He goes, it's havoc.
And the guy who deserves the most credit is Wilson Contreras, because even before that, he was on first base.
Yes. He had the smartest base running of the whole play.
That's the thing. He was the only intelligent person in the equation.
No, because even before just the ground out and Will Craig just forgetting how to play baseball, he was on first base and there was a pickoff attempt, and he just took off to second base. And like the first Will Craig again, like either couldn't get a handle on the ball or didn't feel comfortable with the throwing angle. He didn't throw to second base, and that's the only reason Contreras was even at second base for the ground ball. Yep. So he did a hobby bias of just baseball. People just forget how to play baseball.
But and that's and which is crazy because you think it shouldn't happen at the major league level. And that's, again, I'm watching this game in Vegas, and although you're in Arizona, so you're watching this too at like 10. This is like 11 for you. It's like 11 a.m. It's like
coffee and baseball. This is fantastic.
And I'm it's 10 a.m. here. I'm barely just shaking the sleepy sand out. I'm trying to figure out here in the first day of my summer vacation now. And what happened? And I'm like, or you're watching it and you're like, okay, something's like, because the play, it takes that whole play took so much time to like process. Like, we're still processing it right now. Like, we're talking about like the right fielder not being where he's supposed to be. Like, there was so much wrong with that that it's, again, we talk about the right place, right time. It's the Cubs. Thank goodness we'll take the win. And now the Cubs move into a new series after a crazy little bit with Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. And now you move into a new series with, now what are we at the, is this?
Host the Reds.
It's the Reds, right?
The most inconsistent team in baseball.
Most inconsistent team.
So we're going from just, here they are. This is the team that picked up a bunch of players hoping they'd pan out so they could then trade them at the trade deadline, which is Pittsburgh. And then we move into now the Reds, who are the team that has, again, so can I mute the name Castellanos all weekend? I don't care what he does. I just would rather not have Cub fans like still pining over their ex-girlfriend 2 years after they broke up. Like, it's been a while. It's time to move on, Cub fans. And at this point, how about you focus on the people that need to be signed, which are honestly, at this point, I think a 3-year deal for all three would be I think that would be a really good kind of weird optic compromise. Does that make sense?
Give KB all the money he wants all the years.
I'm trying to be nice and just give it to other guys.
It's okay. Chris Bryant.
Let me tell you, God damn it. But
no, it's fine. Give Chris Bryant all the money that you're going to give Rizzo. Give him all the money you're going to give Bias. Just keep Chris Bryant.
How good was he hitting the ball the other way today, too? God.
Oh, no, he's been fantastic. But the other thing I wanted to bring up, so Thursday, there's that stupid play. There was the Patrick Wisdom on his first home run. He was hit by pitch, and then the Pirates challenged it, got the call overturned, and like 3 pitches later, he hit a home run, which turned out to be the difference because it was 4-3 or 5-3 at the end. They did get an insurance run, but it was huge until the 9th inning. And then the other thing,
by the way, that is the ultimate example of, like, I don't know if you guys ever heard this. It's kind of stop tripping over your own. You know what I'm talking about? The Pirates tripped over their own Right
that also reminded me. I think it was last season or 2019. Or I think it's 2019. Marcell Ozuna was hit by a pitch. The umpire didn't call it, but it was pretty obvious that he got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. He's like, no, it didn't hit me, so nothing was called. Next pitch, double play. Like that's so. Like this was like the inverse of that.
It happened. That what your example happens more often than the guy that hits the homer. By the way, I've seen high school.
Right.
Kids, I mean, you get hit, and they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro, 3-2." Well, I wanted to switch. Yeah, and how'd that go?
But the other thing that went viral for the Cubs game on Thursday, naked man behind first base or third base, I guess.
Apparently, naked K-Fids, which is now a beer line. If you have Twitter, that would be Brewhan Luke gave a beer review because I put a face on my own naked body, well, his naked body, and they gave a full beer review, a 108 beer review.
They just put the tarp on the south side.
No.
What does that have to do with my ball beer?
What?
No,
to what, Kevin? That's what it has to do with it.
Well, but Tom Paints, who is legendary and glorious and the most fantastic like social media like baseball artist I've seen, created a beer logo for a K-Fids lager, which is it's pretty much me naked. So, and I think I'm hugging a bear. So we're gonna have to make a lager.
I do have to ask you, both of you gentlemen.
Pinwheels and Ivy.
Would you guys ever go shirt off at a game?
No. Yeah, probably.
Kevin, was that a probably?
Probably.
Couple beers in, feeling a little nice.
Yeah, we'll see how June 4th goes.
Zoe, was that a definite no?
I'm not a big tarp off guy.
Never. No circumstance.
I mean, when I'm swimming and shit. But
what if it's like no, like just specifically at the game, like this guy?
I was at the Sox game where it was like 107 degrees on the field level, and I was sitting front row, and Mark Burley was literally spraying me with a hose, and I still had my shirt on.
All right.
So I will say this: like, you buy me enough beers, and if it's going to help the team win, the home team. So I'll just say if it helps the home team, I'm just trying to.
I don't know a scenario in any universe where you taking your shirt off would help the home team win a baseball game.
It distracts the hitter.
Well, you're not too sure about the magic, okay? Because see, there's just as much magic with Javi scoring. If I take my shirt off at a game, I'm pretty sure that a walk would turn into an inside the park home run. So that's what happens when body starts slapping.
By the way, back to the Cubs and their series against the Reds. The Reds again, like you said, so like very inconsistent. 1 week they have like the best offensive baseball. Next week,
correct, by the way.
Next week they're getting like shut out. But like it does. I mean, you still consider they have a lot of talent on that team, and this starts that stretch off where like after them it's the Padres, and then like after that it's just like the Cubs are facing all these really good teams. So through the All-Star break. So again. Nice role that they've been on. I think it's been like a couple weeks now. They've won all these. They started horribly on the road, but I think they've now won 3 series on the road in a row.
Historically bad offense, and now arguably the best offense in league baseball with a bullpen that's.
It does suck that the Nico Horner injury that really
sucks.
Sucked. Yeah, because you can just tell he is a difference maker. Not just defensively, but at the plate, everything that he was doing, that fucking sucked. And again, hamstring injuries, they're fucking tricky. You don't know. It could be a couple weeks. It could be like a month and a half. We don't know. He's on the 10-day injury list right now. The Cubs have guys, again, Zoe, you looked at it, Patrick Wisdom, who the hell is that? There's another guy like Rafael Ortega. Honestly, didn't know much about him. He was in the lineup yesterday. I didn't know much about him.
No.
There's him, and again, the Cubs also have Jake Marisnick, who was fucking fantastic filling in the outfield. Jason Hayward's been on the injured list.
And they just signed D. Strange Gordon.
Yes, and then because of the Horner injury, obviously
also my Twitter profile.
They just need someone else who can play in the infield. So they did sign D. Strange Gordon, who. Going back to like the Kopech thing and the bereavement, when I first saw the name, I'm like, is this some sort of a joke? But he did change his name in honor of his late mother. So, all respect to D on one.
That's why I threw the Strange in there, because respect.
Yeah.
He's fast as hell.
He's fast. Like, again, it's not a guy I want starting.
He could become the Cubs equivalent to Billy Hamilton.
Yeah. But
I
again,
feel like he's been in the league for like
feel that-
15
you
years.
feel that the same way too, Aldo? Like the minute they signed him, you're like, that's kind of like the Billy Hamilton, because Billy Hamilton's not an everyday guy. He's fast as shit. He's a quick vet, and he's got
Yes.
such great speed that he makes things like
Fast as
again,
fuck,
late.
boy.
yeah, if he's strictly like a bench player, maybe getting like one start a week. Because like the guy,
Sorry,
like
That's one of my
Aldo,
favorite TikTok things ever.
it's a TikTok noise.
It's one of the
it's a
best
sound-
TikTok noises.
It's
ever.
a sound people use, and it's usually a video of like a fat kid running or something. But it's just
Or a dog.
it's just a kid going, "I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm fast as fuck, boy." I'm sorry. It's stuck in my head. I apologize. That was terrible. But
I've
D.
only seen those videos with dogs.
D. Strange Gordon has been in Major League Baseball since 2011. I feel like he's been in the league for 50 years.
Yeah, but again, like you said, Kevin, like it is kind of like a Billy Hamilton type, but like again, like what Sox fans are experiencing right now, except for his fan club, it's a guy who you want on your bench, maybe starting one time, maybe two, but you don't want him starting like half the time in a week. They've had Matt Duffy; he's been banged up, so he's on the IL right now, and that's like a guy that like I would prefer getting starts rather than D. Strange Gordon. But yeah, no, the Nico injury that one fucking hurt. Because he just does so much for you. Again, if it's just like defensive alone, he's here like in the week he made like 2 game-changing plays at second base. He's so fucking good there. Him and Baez up the middle, and like Baez has like
Breaking moves. Shohei Ohtani has been scratched from his start for the Angels tonight. Patrick Sandoval will start instead. It's nothing injury related for Ohtani, and Joe Madden is going to be addressing the media shortly.
Okay.
And then Trevor Story also got pulled from the Rockies game on injury related. People were tweeting the hug watch. So I don't know. Maybe shit's about to go down, but we'll see. We shall see.
Well, Ohtani, what could be wrong with him? That's weird. But I mean, wow, yeah. Ohtani, holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I just heard that, Kevin.
I'm not going to say it, but what he's done also pitching is getting close to like, is he one of the best players in the league?
Oh, he's MVP.
Is he?
I think so.
Boy, still fast as fuck, boy. Come get some.
That's terrible audio.
Oh wait, here.
I heard it.
Here we go. One of our commenters, Alex, again, told me to go check out Dallas Braden. He said, "So I have on good authority that Ohtani had trouble getting to the ballpark from San Francisco and has been scratched from his start. Sandoval will start in his place." So it sounds like a logistical error.
He just kind of
Ohtani.
maybe he partied up in San Francisco. Who does it? Who hasn't done that? If you can raise your hand, then you don't know what that allure is. But San Francisco is a great place to party. So.
But yeah, I mean, Trevor Story getting traded makes a lot more sense to me than Ohtani. Like, you don't trade Ohtani. Like, that'd be the dumbest thing in the world.
So would you do it now? Trevor Story for Tim Anderson? Go.
Are we going to have this conversation about Ohtani though too? Is Ohtani like
I'd have to look
maybe
at
the most versatile? I mean, again, I hate to say this because Chris is playing so many positions, but it's like Ohtani. This is a guy that's pitching a little. He's not pitching that much.
No, he's starting every.
He's in a straight rotation, dude. He's taking the ball every 5 games.
We're talking about someone that is literally, the best pitcher hitter since
Babe Ruth,
Anthony Rizzo,
but Babe Ruth as well. Both are correct answers.
And he's better than Babe Ruth.
Holy hell! Like he's so good.
No. His pitching, he doesn't. He's not going like deep in games. He's not going like 8, 9 or like 7, 8, 9 innings. But he's like he has a sub-3 ERA, I think.
Dude, he has a 2.37 ERA in 6 games pitched right now. He has.
We're talking about changing the game. There you go.
Yeah,
that's lies.
He has 45 strikeouts already. Opponents are hitting 154 against him.
Now imagine if Ohtani was on a National League team that actually has the DH or doesn't have the DH. See, here's what we're talking about is players that actually Ohtani is proving that you can actually be a pitcher and still hit, You can be an athlete and a pitcher because a lot of pitchers.
Okay, we're going to talk about one-offs like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's proving that you can be drafted 100 and whatever and be the best quarterback of all time. Like,
I'm just saying that you can actually be really good at both, and you shouldn't just.
And that's fine. It just doesn't happen often. I mean, he already has 15 home runs, dude.
It only happened once. Like it's happening right now. I'm saying it's inspiring other players in the future to say, "Coach, I'm not a Rizzo. I can do both." And I'm a big fan of POs, but it's only for the kids that like are totally POs.
The guy who gave up the home run to Mercedes. Yeah.
I was wrong, by the way. I thought Gio in high school would have been like a shortstop, or like he was a PO in high school. Lucas Gio was just a PO, but Flaherty wasn't. Flaherty was right. Flaherty was
taking the tarp off. Let's go.
Here we go. And by the way, another reminder that the Cubs were one of the finalists to sign Ohtani.
That sucks.
You don't say that stuff.
It sucks that he ended up on the Angels for the same reason that it sucks that Mike Trout is on the Angels. No one watches Angels games. They suck. And I saw a tweet, and I've never seen a more accurate baseball tweet. And it said something like, how come I wake up in the morning and see a headline, Mike Trout hit 52 home runs and Ohtani did something for the first time ever in the history of baseball, and the Angels lost 12-4. And you're just like,
because they live in Maui.
Because they have no pitching. That's why I brought it up earlier. When like
living in Maui means I can play every day as a pro baseball player and never win a World Series, and walk out and see that sunset every day. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Because if I'm Trout, I'm like, I'm done with this. Like I can't do this. Like
Dallas Keuchel from Mike Trout straight up.
Probably not.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Jerry can afford it. But.
Vaughn though, because Vaughn can pitch and need a couple arms.
I mean, I'll work for free at the White Sox ballpark.
Ankiel was kind of, but Ankiel switched.
He had the yips.
Figure it out as a pitcher.
Late, yeah.
Once he had the yips, he was only a PO. He went back and then worked on the craft. I can tell you this right now, Chasen Street, friend of the show. If Chasen had decided to be a center fielder instead of a major league pitcher or a pitcher in general, if he had just,
do you think he would have made it to the show as a center fielder?
Guys, he was a better hitter than Chris. I'm not saying this. I mean this in the toughest situations, especially when, at least until Chasen was a senior in 2008. I wanted Chasen up in the most important moments of the game.
When did he make that switch?
He had like four something. He had like 560 for me in the summer after that.
When did Chasen make that switch?
He went to PO when he went to college, but again, even at CSN at college, after he hit for me, he came back and played for me in the summer. He was shut down. His left arm he had dead arm, so he shut down. So we had this is great, by the way. This is good fodder right here. The agreement that me and Coach Chambers, who was his coach at CSN, rest in peace, had was that he could not throw with his left arm. He played left field, right-handed as a lefty, but he was my DH most of the time. But he played left field, and nobody ran on him because they're like, "Oh God, it's Shreve out there." Nobody had any idea. So he hit so well, though. He was the best base runner I've ever coached, and Chris is one of the top 2 or 3. But again, what Chasen did, some of those guys that are now like again, some guys look at Chasen's body. He's not letting himself go. Does that make sense? Where some relievers are like, let's go, let's gain it up, let's look like.
Well, he's got a gamer's body.
He has a guy that could like literally go and do something else, like in.
All right, fellas, do you got any closing thoughts? I just realized this is already at almost 2 hours and.
It sucks that Nico got hurt. He's becoming the best second baseman in Chicago baseball, so that's terrible timing. Look at the stats.
Cubs are on a roll.
Look at the stats, though. That was true.
Cubs could be only a game and a half back of the White Sox record-wise after tonight. The White Sox don't win. Can we remind you?
I don't want to sneak that win by
and that matters absolutely zero. No one gives a shit.
For everybody that proposed to Chris Bryant to the White Sox trade, just take into consideration you're trying to trade someone that's laterally in the same position.
Cubs Sox. That's in July, right? End of July.
Yeah, when is our bet? What is our bet this year? We got to start thinking about our bet.
You guys go ahead. I really, like I've said a million times, do not give a shit about the Cubs.
Zoe has to go shirtless at a Sox game.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, the Cubs bet's there still, obviously, but I don't know. Give us your suggestions, audience.
I will never be one of those people that the Cubs are not in the Sox division unless they play each other in the playoffs. I won't get that turned up for it.
I like Buddha-zo. Buddha-zo is so blissful.
I just
So Zoe, so you guys sweep the Orioles.
Absolutely,
right?
Yumper, by the way. We're coming up with a tattoo bet.
yes, I would very much like to
Damn it.
see a sweep of the Orioles. That would be
Orioles, I
lovely.
think, worst record in the AL.
So you
I
want
mean,
the,
this
is the sweep the only what's your success rate for this series? Like what's your
3 out of 4 win the series.
Yep.
That's all you can do.
is it
Keep
3 out of
winning.
4 games?
Yeah, it's a 4 game. Keep
Oh,
winning series, and you're gonna find things turn out all right. All right. Well,
You know what? We should do a tattoo bet just for Kevin.
a what?
A
I'll
tattoo
go
bet.
to I'll go to a burrito station over here and put 50 cents in and get a temporary tattoo.
My girlfriend does those at her events for the kids.
But for all the okay fids, I'm Zoe. If you're still here, God
Let's-
bless you. And
Yumper.
that's the Pinwheels and Ivy for this week. Looks like the Sox are about to get started. Make sure you're following us at Pinwheels and Ivy. Go buy some merchandise, and maybe we'll do another show on Monday. Who knows? We keep saying that, but we never do. But yeah.
Guys, guess what? I'll see you guys next Friday. So I will not be on the podcast next week. I will be in Chicago wandering. Like my flight will have just arrived. So June 4th, White Sox game.
Got to get a flight review from Kevin.
I'm going to get a Zoe review when Zoe shows up at Rosangela. No,
Okay.
I'm just throwing it out there.
All right.
His Kia Sentra or whatever. So we're good.
All right. We'll talk to you guys next week.